Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're hopping back into Lord of the Flies. It is turn 83 and we are playing Lemuria. So, last game we kind of got our ass handed to us, and our last turn. And, yeah. So, oh man, it's not looking good for Octavia. It looks like there's going to be more ass kicking for us. Octavia casts Ritual of Returning, which is just like a little 3-gem spell. But we got attacked by Eater of Dreams, which, by the way, is a dream horror. So you know you're horror marked to shit when you cast Ritual of Returning, which is like a nothing, and you get kind of murdered. So do we survive it? We do, but you know, to what effect? We get nailed by a bunch of this stuff. And anyway, we basically just wasted a turn. So she gets zapped back to home due to casting Ritual of Returning, but this is a sign, guys. You're not supposed to get attacked by Doom Horrors when you have Ritual of Returning, so only when your horror marks are really, really bad will that happen, and it did. Okay, Disease Demon 1 killed that dude, another Disease Demon killed that dude. Okay, we got attacked by another Doom Horror, this time without Ritual of Returning. So 2 in 1 turn, very impressive. And this guy is actually going to kill her. And she actually had, let's check, she had some decent items on her. And items are particularly valuable in, had this to increase her max HP so she could survive multiple hits. This to help deal with non-armor negating attacks. Unfortunately, this guy is almost all armor negating. Some of these are armor piercing, but yeah. Yeah, and we got probably hit by some Astral Claws too, so our horror mark worsened. And we lost all that gear. So, yeah, and that gear, as I was saying, is particularly valuable with Astral Corruption up, because I usually have to sacrifice a mage to get a lot of those items. So, a bit annoying there. I think my Pretender's, like, done. She's done. The problem, too, if she's going to be dead all the time, is I'm going to lose my Recuperation Bliss. Like, you can see this guy does not have Recuperation. So, I'm going to have to figure out what I do there. Midguard attacking me here. We lose this. I'm going to just click through these real quickly rather than... And then we'll talk about the strategic map. Itimu dies. That's not something we see very often. I actually didn't... yeah, I forgot to tell you troop movement here. So yeah, I moved Itimu in to kind of clear these guys out who were sieging down this fort. And I don't know if he expected that, but he moved in an Ice Devil backed up by some mage support. Yeah, this guy D2. So I'm expecting he's going to die to dust. Because you can see him running in here. And this is different RNG. Just because I'm showing you this quite a few turns after when it happened. Yeah, dust to dust. That's how you kill a Timu. Yeah, there it goes. So, yeah. How the Mighty have fallen. So, again, we see just... we killed this Ice Devil in whatever the actual playthrough was. But, yeah, you can see how this is a pretty efficiently sized little group to deal with the Timu. Now, on one hand, this is annoying because I think he had... Let's go check. Let's see what gear he had. Yeah, I had some... He had this, which is good. It gives him quickness. He has the, a decent shield, an MR amulet, and then a Shadowbrand. So, I don't know. What is this? It's not really worth all that, but... I mean, he has like 50, 60 gems of items on him, and that got killed. Is it worth the Frost Devil that we killed? Maybe. The Frost Devil had some items on him as well. So, kind of an even trade for us, but only because I got the Ice Devil, and as you saw from that replay, they totally could have killed him without getting the Ice Devil killed. Now, it is possible that we win this fight, but probably unlikely. Probably like 10% chance. So, definitely a good move for Midguard. Efficiently killing my stuff. We kind of get murdered here. I'm not actually sure how that one Seth Kona died, but it did. But anyway, he's continuing to lock up my forts. Here we are raiding Midguard successfully as opposed to him raiding us. And I'm just going to basically scan through here, see if we find any good battles. Where is this? Okay, I've put Lime on top of this. She's going to move down south. Take this from that guy. Make sure we don't miss... Okay, the Trackless Waste, there's a barbarian attack here, and we both moved into it. It's not that we're fighting. But my guys got kind of murdered. I'll just show you that battle real quick. So he sent in some vans, and if you recall, we haven't fought Midguard in a long time, but his magic weapon vans are going to be pretty damn efficient at killing my ghosts. Yeah. Trackless Wastes. Yeah, that was this. And we're just going to click through... Okay, we've got a big battle here in the Cliff Coast. We'll go watch that. So this was outside one of his forts. I have a big high-commitment army here. A bunch of mage support. The only thing I don't have is Earth Gems, which are pretty important to get Army of Gold up. We've also got some trolls mixed in here, who will help kind of pound through any difficult-to-pound-through things. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of clicking through it. And we're probably going to kill these guys. So this is good for us. I don't know what he's got inside this fort, though, but we're definitely going to take it. We definitely are going to have a battle in the fort, because we took the outside. What province was that? Cliff Coast. So, okay, we kill everything outside it, but then we have to fight inside of it. Which we'll go ahead and watch that. Why do I not see a battle inside Cliff Coast? There was a battle in Cliff Coast. Did all my guys, like, retreat out of it? That's kind of weird. Would it... Let's just look at the battle report here. I'm actually kind of, like, really struggling to figure out what happened. Okay, so it appears all my guys retreated. I don't know if that happened this battle. We'll just zip forward here through to the end. I don't think that happened. I think I might have Wailing Winds myself out of this battle. Or at the very end, we might have had enough of our guys die where we triggered a mass retreat. I think that's what happened. I think we had enough of our guys die in the real version that it triggered a mass retreat at the very end. And so even though we won, killed everything, and kind of kept the control of the province, we, yeah, our guys died. So anyway, we're going to be probably sending those guys back in there. Very kind of a little weird there. That was, which one? Cliff Coast, and then we're going to go check, see if there are any more big battles, and then we'll talk about the strategic map. I think it's actually faster for me to do this, and click through these, You can see we lost this one here. It's probably not really worth even watching. Okay, so that's it. I want to make sure we get all the big battles. Like last turn, I went through and just did the strategic map, and then I ended up missing some of the big battles. And now, oh, we found out a site. Huh. If it's Gallows or the Grove of Fertility, which one was that? Hung at the Gallows, okay. So we got a Gallows site, or Midguard got a Gallows site. Or no, we got it. It's our province. Okay, so let's talk about what happened. He moved in this little death squad here, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with it, but I did do Wind of Death casting here. Or no, Bone Grinding is what it was supposed to be. But you can see I don't cast it, and that's because you need to be Death 5 plus... You need to be Death 6 when you're trying to cast it, and I was only Death 5 with Power of the Spheres. I thought you could put more than one gem into a spell to get at like a higher level. But it turns out you can only raise your level 1 by overcasting with gems, which I did not know. At this time, anyway. So that was annoying. That was supposed to work. Here, this is going to be worth watching, too, because I was doing a Wind of Death trap. In this, I did have the appropriate number of gems, so let's see how this works. Okay, and Foul Spawn are not known for their high MR. Yeah, MR 12, not very high. And these guys have to enter into a communion before they can do anti-magic. So, all of these are basically going to go off. And now our guys are just going to retreat. And... okay, we killed a good bit of them. About 60, I think. Which was this Valley Guard. Huh. Fewer here. Not exactly worth it. Not exactly worth it. I think in the replay we watched, I killed a little more. And I think we got a Sithkona too. I think I heard the little female cry associated with the Sithkona. Yeah, I think these guys actually got... when they retreated inside the fort, which I think actually is kind of the preference. Which is annoying because I don't have a lab in here. I think a lot of these guys were on that commander, though, that died. So, I'm not... even though they were only one away from breaking through the fort wall, I don't know if they... it doesn't look like that happened, because I have a fair amount of troops inside, and then if all the Foul Spawn were under the commander, and he died, then yeah, that kind of shuts down their little breakthrough plan. So this fort got one turn popped, which is annoying. I don't think that would have happened if Bone Grinding went off a couple times. I probably would have killed... well, no, I wouldn't have. These are like kind of elite dudes. But I would have softened up the mages at least. Not happen. That's annoying. And then, so this is basically the first thing I'm going to have to deal with. I had been kind of preparing for this. I knew he was going to attack here, so I moved a ton of mages in. Let's take a look. What are we going to do? Here are all the troops we have coming in. We probably have about 1,000 troops. We've got this guy here doing Army of Gold. We've got 2 people casting it in case something bad happens. Because this is a super important fight. This guy, I should have given him gems, but apparently I didn't give him any. Power Spheres, and then he's just going to be doing Soul Vortex and then spamming Clouds of Death. This guy, Power of Spheres, Soul Vortex, Rigor Mortis. This guy is doing Howl and then Creeping Dooms. This guy's doing Power of Spheres, Anti-Magic, and then Creeping Dooms. And then one of the nice things about Creeping Doom is it will dilute hopefully, a lot of squares with having undead and bugs in them. Or even if it's not the same square, they'll be an adjacent square. So things that like wither bones will be less effective. This will also probably give their mages other targets where they'll cast something completely different that's not going to target my undead. Power of Sphere, Soul Vortex, Darkness, Rigor Mortis. It would be nice if I could do Soul Drain. I don't really do that here, but I don't know if I see... Do I see Anti-Magic? Did I say that somewhere? I don't think... Oh, no. Okay, here's Anti-Magic and Darkness. Okay. And then we have another Rigor Mortis cast here at the end. So, yeah, I think Soul Drain might be good here. Not totally sure. The other thing that would be good, and I don't have it yet, is Master Generation. That's really good on Lemuria. It actually works because we're not lifeless. So this is going to be kind of a big deal. We're going to do this. The other thing Lemuria did here, which was pretty clever, is they attacked here with one of their groups. And by attacking here, it means I can't send like any of the reinforcements I might have sent from down here up to here, which is a bit annoying because they're probably going to be able to pop this fort now. Though because I killed that commander with the Wind of Death attack, this fort, they can't siege it this turn, but next turn they'll probably pop it. So anyway, I have to I'm going to try to fight them off of this fort. Oh my god, did I not script this guy? Come on, dude. I hope I ended up scripting him. Probably not, because this is my latest turn file. That would have been just horrible. So I don't know if I Army of Gold hit him or not. Anyway, we're going to send a ton of dudes to try to kill these guys off. This army does not have a ton of mage support. But it has a thug. It has this chick, which I don't know what she can maybe do mass protection. What all am I bringing in here? I'm not bringing in even Rigor Mortis. Throwing a huge amount of troops at this and no mage support is not a good idea. And he one turn popped this fort too. Not really sure about this at all. Problem is, too, I'm wasting 2 turns with my Grand Lemurs. We'll just... Okay, let's go through this. Like, this guy, he's sneaking back. Where is he? He's going this way to this province, and one of my Grand Lemurs here is going this way to this province. I'm basically having to refill them on gems, which is annoying. This one Grand Lemur is going to try to be a thug now that a lot of the chaff is gone, and see if we can kind of keep them from taking this fort. And so his script is going to be Soul Vortex, Invulnerability, Astral Shield, Nether Darts. Nether Darts. I probably could also have given him Mist Form, would probably be good here. Yeah. It would make me basically immune to any of the damage from the Foul Spawn or Bone Fiends. Even probably the Jotun Hurlers. Though I could get zapped by one of the mages. But I think the mages are not going to be running in and casting things. So I think actually that would probably win. If I'm on cast spells, yeah. I think that would actually probably win. But this is really just very questionable. I'm not sure why I don't have this scripted. Maybe he casts it on his own? I have no idea. What I'm thinking there. But hopefully we win this battle. I think that's about it. More raiding here. This fort is not popped, but it's almost popped. I don't know if he's going to sit here. Either way, we're just going to kind of prepare. I did clear the guys off this fort, so this guy is going to be... So re-sieged this. I didn't even put PD here, but he moved a vampire in. Yeah. Oh, did we have a battle here? My Lemuria, did my Lamashta thing work? Okay, no, he retreated, so I never got a chance to. So anyway, we're kind of getting pushed back. We are going to have a big battle here this coming turn. And I think we'll actually go ahead and jump into it. I want to be doing 2 turns an episode. Even though these episodes are running long, I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I don't really like doing episodes longer than 20 minutes, but if I'm going to get through all these turns with you guys, it's going to take forever if I do 1 turn per episode. So we'll go ahead and go into the next one. We have a message from Midguard saying, currently subbing for the Gath player. And I'm kind of out of touch with the earlier turns. I'm just developing an econ and steamrolling Agartha for fun and giggles. Gath, I think I was playing... the guy who's playing Midguard, I was subbing for him in a different game and playing his nation, which was Gath. So that's why he's calling him Gath's player. And this guy was in that game also, but... that's one thing I try to do, is I try to sub for people if they need a hand. You can do it too. There's usually sub postings on forums. It's a good way to kind of play with the nation you haven't necessarily played. So our nap is expiring, and he asked if we had any sort of standing agreement. And let's see what I say back to him, actually. I say, yeah, we just had nap 3. If you're ending it, might I suggest warring Utgard 2 if you want a chance at winning? Not only might that put you in a position to win, but in my interest, it will prevent him from winning in the next couple turns since he's throne rushing me. And then I say he took 28, as I assume you saw, and is about to take 17. Next, he'll take Ryla's and then win. So Utgard is actually kind of close to a throne victory. There's a bunch of other things I haven't really talked about this turn. So, anyway, we're going to get into it. Big turn. We got a lot going on. So, one of our guys empowered himself in air. We finished research and construction. I'm not sure what construction we're at. We're at construction 7. What this is going to open up for me is golems. And golems are actually very good under astral corruption. They are basically unaffected by horrors, which is very nice. You don't have to worry about them getting horror marked or anything like that. I don't even think they get attacked by horrors at all when they, cast spells, etc. So, pretty damn good. Where's our little message menu? Okay, we get murdered by some horrors here. You see we were forging items and they died. Oh, wait. Oh, we have to go back. We must go back. The most important thing of last turn. I completely missed. So, crap. So, anyway, this war with Utgard is not going very well, as you can tell. I've gone back a turn now. What I am doing, I don't know if you've noticed, wow, that's not very much. So, we're water 7, and I've been trying to figure out what I had a lot of water gems, and I was trying to figure out what I can do to potentially win the game. And God, this is so risky looking back on it. Yeah. There's only a few things that I can do that are probably going to let me win. One of the things is I'm going to cast Vengeful Waters, and you can see I'm going to put 190 Overcast into it. I put all my water gems into it. And I think I alchemized some to get this. We'd have to go back. If you look at the previous episode, you can probably find a clip where we're looking at this. Looking at it, it doesn't look like I alchemized much. And I probably should have alchemized a lot more. We'll go forward and see. I feel like I put more than that in terms of the overcasting, but it looks like I didn't. I thought I alchemized just like everything and put everything into water gems and cast it. But I can't see how that would be the case. We'll go ahead and jump forward. So we'll talk about it. Anyway, last turn I decided to cast Vengeful Water, and I was basically hoping to override one of the spells. Now, why is that risky? There's a few reasons. One is the spell book was full, and a lot of the spells in the that I'm gonna have to compete with to override. Okay, so it doesn't work. A lot of the spells I have to compete with were blood globals, and blood globals are gonna have a ton cast in it, a ton of blood slaves put into them. So, I don't even know if people... Yeah, I don't think anybody would have known or seen this message that was in the game, but basically, I just spent 100 or 260 water gems and it didn't do anything, except get me attacked by a horror here, which is kind of comical. Boop. But I gave her a Ring of Returning, so she zapped back home. And the other thing that's important is some of these guys are aquatic, so you need to make sure you give them like a robe of the sea so they can breathe on land. Otherwise, this getting zapped back home will make them drown. Okay, so we tried to cast Vengeful Water. It did not work. It didn't work, so that's not good. You do not... Yeah, it's super dangerous. I was basically hoping it would... Either these were cast with kind of few slaves, or it would override Eyes of the God. So anyway, it's pretty damn risky. And it's one of the hardest parts of having blood globals up, is it's very difficult to ever take them down. You basically can't. And if you take them down, they'll just go back up. Okay, so that didn't work. We tried to cast Vengeful Water. Now, the thinking is, there's very few globals that will, like, win me the game. One of them... Yeah, I think Vengeful Waters is the only one. Arcane Nexus, even, I don't think it's going to do it. Especially with Astral Corruption up, nobody's going to be spending gems anyway. Maybe Enchanted Forest over a very long game could help me win the Dominion battle. But that can really be counteracted by Preaching. Underdark would be really good. But not game-winning, because the two nations I'm fighting are blood nations, and they basically rely on a blood economy. Not having any income is definitely a hit to them, and definitely is in favor of me. But I don't think it's going to be game-winning. Vengeful Waters is going to make it where the one thing that you need to fight Lemuria is you need lots of mages to win big fights. You're not going to easily fight Lemuria without good mage support. And both of these nations, Midguard and Utgard, rely on human mages, not some kind of big giants or something like that. I mean, Utgard has Scrotty and stuff like that, but they really rely a lot on their Sithkonas. And if I can get Vengeful Waters up, then what that spell is going to do is, if you guys don't know, it's an assassination. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of looking at it. My little thing that normally pops up showing my my timer for my recording is gone, and I was worried if it stopped recording. It appears it's still going. I had to Alt-Tab out, but basically an ice elemental or a water elemental, depending on the temperature scales and the province, is going to spawn and randomly attack anybody in your dominion based on the dominion score. So like here in very high dominion, almost everybody's going to get attacked, and then in lower dominion, only a few guys will. But it's going to stop raiding. It will actually go on stealthy units also. And basically it's going to make it very difficult to launch large armies, especially large armies over very well-provisioned forts. And with Midguard saying that basically he is ending his nap with me, I need some way to keep him from attacking me, because if you can tell, it's not going that great against Utgard, and I need some deterrent from him attacking me, and that deterrent I wanted to be Vengeful Waters. So we've got to figure out what we're gonna do. So there's kind of a lot to talk about. We'll start going through the actual turn. We've got... Okay, where is... I think I know where that is. Oh, no. So he was raiding me with 2 Seth Kona here. Didn't work. Battle here. Father Illerth, who's a very good super combatant, kills all my dudes. We get wrecked by this. So he did a juke out here. We went to he had a big group and we went to kind of attack him. And he only kept his Ice Devil, who I am really struggling to kill. And I don't think any of my guys were on advance and attack. Oh no, a couple of them, I mean advance and cast spells, and a couple of them were. But we have the same problem, I can't kill this freaking Ice Devil. And so basically what's going to happen, I believe... If I did Light of the Northern Star, I think it could have turned out different. I probably would have... It would make it much more preferable for the AI to cast, like, Enslaved Mind and stuff like that. So he's got a fair amount of afflictions, but he ain't going anywhere. So anyway, this is a very, very clever move for him. And we can see the world is being... Or the battlefield is being overrun by wolves and bugs. And skeletons. And we'll just see how this ends here. So he's got every affliction known to man now. Holy shit, I've never seen this before. His tail's been chopped off. So he had a tail. The detail they put in this game is ridiculous. So anyway, this guy has a tail, the game knows it, and his tail is chopped off. How about that? That's a crazy amount of detail. Okay, and then that was the time trigger, so now my armies are all routing. Thanks, guys. And he's Berserk, so he's going to kill everything while it disappears. He is so afflicted, though, his attack skill isn't great, and he seems to be missing this ghost. I'm not sure why. Part of it, I think, is the ghost is always hitting him, and so he has life drain. Okay, in this case, they both died, but in the real game, which fort was that? That was here, the Farron Mountains. In the real game, basically that same thing happened, except this guy didn't die, and what that means is coming down here. That one devil he left behind to defend the fort, that devil he also had attack it. And this is not going to go well. Now let's see what afflictions he had here. So he didn't actually get nearly as many afflictions, and that probably explains why he didn't die in the previous fight. He only has a chest wound and a limp. Did he get cursed at least? No, he's not cursed. That would have been pretty smart for me to do. He is decaying, though, which I think is going to give him a lot of afflictions. I wonder if decay never got off on him in that previous version of the fight. He is over old age. He could just theoretically die from decay. I don't know how far over your age you have to get for decay to kill you through the actual age effect rather than the HP one. But our old whipping boy has lived through this battle. Even though his tail has been chopped off again, he's mute, crippled, limp. Chest wound weakened, lost both of his eyes, and is diseased. So whatever is left of him is going to win here. And then, again in this battle, we kill both of them. But, true to form, he does not die. So anyway, I think you see the odds were probably not in his favor. It was a very risky move, but it was a move which he won in the game, and that's what matters. And so anyway, he took this back, which was a kind of amazing little feat. And where he moved his army was he moved his army back over on top of this fort, and you can see this is where I was moving my army up from that throne province to kind of intercept him. And he said, okay, I'm not scared of that. We're going to move this army back to intercept you, who is coming to intercept us. And it turns out that was probably going to be a good move. Now, I'm going to be dropping almost everything here. I don't have Army of Gold, I don't think. But I have all of my other shenanigans. I'm going to have Darkness. I'm going to have Grip of Winter. I have Wailing Winds up. I'm going to be dropping Anti-Magic. All of my things. But let's just look at it real quick. He's got this front line, which has some soulless that he's gotten from Raised Dead, which are basically expendable units. My flankers who are coming in are just running into Gamherdings, who are not going to be easy to kill. He doesn't have mass protection, which would probably be nice if he could have it. His communion slaves are doing pretty good on fatigue. And yeah, he's just killing my guys with big evocations. We've got Dust to Dust, Wither Bones, all these things just popping out with his mages safely situated behind his meat shields. And these hundreds and hundreds of ghosts that I brought are just getting reaped from the field by his Sithkona and Vampire Lords. This guy apparently is deciding to thug and is moving in. He's probably going to get beat. These guys are on the advance and cast spell script, so they're probably about to get just absolutely wrecked. And they do. And so that's kind of how that goes. We kind of just got butchered there. And then he attacks this fort as well. And basically, it was a pretty low committal attack on the fort, just a lich. Which he could lose. And not feel too bad about it. And it appears this will be successful. And so he takes that fort from me. And wins that battle, killing this big ol' army. So, not looking good for me so far. This was the other big battle, was he had moved a big group on top of this fort. And apparently he did the same sort of duck and weave, where he moved the army out, but left a thug. But this is going to be a bit tricky, because presumably if I get this guy paralyzed... I don't know if I have these guys on advance and cast spells. It does appear that Army of Gold went off too. Okay, this guy is retreating due to morale checks. He is surrounded by people with fear. He should be going berserk though, so I'm not really sure if that happened in the real version of the game. And I'm not sure what this guy's casting. It looks like he's trying to attack, so he's not really casting spells. I don't see him casting any spells, so it looks like he is only on attack. And we are doing some damage to him. Let's skip forward. Yeah, with the shield, we're not able to really consistently do a lot of damage here. Especially with him having a Bloodthorn. he retreats. I don't think we actually kill him there. Arnberg, let's go check. Yeah, we don't. So anyway, kind of duck and weave, and let's double check real quick. I'm pretty sure he did. Did he have the Go Berserk trait? No, he didn't. Okay, so if he had given him a Flesh Eater, he might have actually routed. Well, I guess it wouldn't have made much of a difference. It kind of went to pretty close to the turn limit anyway. But anyway, that army has moved up here. They've cracked this fort. And they're probably going to be moving in. We'll be following them. Not sure about moving this Fairy Queen without any gems. Let's see if there's any other important battles that we missed. Battle here. Okay, just a scout. Battle here. Okay, a little tiny low commitment attack. Battle here. He has popped to this fort, which is a bit annoying. I'm going to try to save it. I've got these guys coming in with like Army of Lead and then Rain of Stones and some other things. I don't really think that's going to be sufficient, but we'll see. Rain of Stones in theory could kill a lot of their chaff and cause a rout. And it's not going to do any damage to me if I've got Army of Lead up. I probably should put more of these guys on Guard Commander. But anyway. Yeah, that's kind of risky. We'll see. He's got a ton of dudes here, which are enough to theoretically go and take this throne back from me. So we're going to be moving a big block of dudes in here. Power of the Sphere, Soul Vortex, Wailing Winds, Darkness. We've got Soul Vortex, Rigor Mortis, Swarm, which probably should be Creeping Doom. Well, I don't. Maybe this guy. What is Creeping Doom again? I can't remember. Oh yeah, you have to be Nature 2 to cast it, so he can't do it. We're going to be raiding this. There's not much here. I think this will be pretty safe, but maybe not. We'll be raiding this. We are not going to go ahead and try to take this back. I assume he's going to move this big army up this way, but I'm not totally sure. The other place he could move it, since he already has this fort, is he'll move it down here and try to take Kalem's Cap, which is going to, be a nice source of gems. So we're going to patrol here, and we've got basically that same script set up, Army of Gold. We've got relief on our side now too, which will be nice. We're going to be casting Earthquake, which is one of the nice things that we can do as Lemuria. Since our guys are floating, they're not affected by it. This could potentially disrupt his Communion. And then Darkness, which actually is really good in combination with Earthquake. Because Earthquake you have to pass a defense check to get hit, or fail a defense check. And Darkness makes it more likely for that to happen. And anyway, that is what we're going to be trying here. We're just mixing it up and trying to catch him. The other thing which I'm going to be doing, and I think now it's actually starting, yeah. Okay, you can see we're starting to forge Standard of the Damned. And I'm realizing how badly now these thugs are messing me up. I mean, it's been painful, but it's just really painful now. Because especially when he's doing this juke thing, I don't even know who I'm going to fight. Am I going to fight the army? Am I going to fight the super combatant? I just don't know. So I have to figure out a way to kill them. And I think one thing that I should have been doing that I'm not doing is doing Power, our Light of the Northern Star. In conjunction with Power of the Spheres, it means all of my Grand Lemurs can cast Enslave Mind. And having a couple guys doing that is going to be a very, very strong deterrent against thugs or super combatants. So I should have been doing that, but another solution is to forge Standard of the Dams And what we want to do is we want to put them on a very good, cheap chassis that does not have magic paths. Unfortunately, we have those. They are Centurions, so we are going to also be casting Revive Lemur Centurion. And we haven't used these guys in a while, but they are basically the little ethereal armored commander that we used in the very beginning of the game to expand. And they're very, very kind of thug-worthy. They're not going to die to infernal disease, and if we give them that Standard of the Damned, they're just the only thing they're going to do in life is spam out Drain Life, which is something we really want. So that's good. Did I finally script this guy? Oh my god, he's still not scripted. How did I do this? I mean, how do I go to sleep at night doing so badly? Okay, so anyway, we'll talk about what we're going to do this turn, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. These guys are going to move over here. We're going to try to break through this fort. Up here, we're going to move Itimu and try to have him clear off everything on top. I don't think this is a ton of mage support. So the real trick with Itimu is if they have mage support and it's all at the back, we don't have to worry about dust to dust or anything. We can usually get an army route just by killing everything. If they're on advance and cast spells, they could kill him. But basically, he's going to be doing a bunch of stuff, then Rigor Mortis, and then killing everything around him, and then everything will fatigue out, and he'll kill all of that. As a little screen where this person's going to run in, do Power of the Spheres, and then Creeping Doom, and then retreat. There's a good chance they die, but that should hopefully be enough to clear people off of that fort. Again, we're preparing for this army to move here on top of Calum. We've got Army of the Gold and other shenanigans here. These big guys, we're all moving onto here onto the cap. I mean the throne, where we've got Wailing Winds and Darkness coming up. Swarm, Soul Vortex, Rigor Mortis. We are going to try Plague. This person's forward positioned at the front, and then putting Plague as the last attack, there's a chance that we do it. And if he moves a big bunch of giants and Plague, we should be able to kill them. I think Plague is pretty hard to get off because it's a pretty low distance spell, 25, and then it's also MR negates, so it's a bit tricky to get off. If you can get it off, though, it's very strong. So anyway, we're going to give it a shot. I'm not doing Mass Protection or anything like that. That would be pretty good. Mass Protection's pretty good against Utgard too, because so far he hasn't shown any fire magic, which is what it's kind of weak against. I wonder if I had, like... Yeah, I don't really have a Thistle Mace to give him, but if I did, I would love to give him a Thistle Mace and have him drop Mass Protection in case he moves this big Doom stack of Hurlers forward. We also are going to storm this castle again. I have my Troll King now with a bunch of cool stuff, like Earth Gems, and he, leading these guys is, hopefully going to have a better outcome than the last time. Power of the Spheres, Wailing Winds, Rigor Mortis, Army of Lead, Darkness, Rigor Mortis again. Yeah, anyway. Hopefully all of that works. And I think those are all of the major troop movements for this turn. We're also just kind of patrolling everywhere. Like, I'll show you here, this guy's patrolling with Swarm. This guy's got a bunch of these dudes. Where we just want to be able to kill any raiders that come through. We've got people... Okay, this actually isn't patrolled, so he probably could just move here and take this. Move in here, just kind of clear out some of his raiders. And yeah, I think that's it. So anyway, interesting. Midguard apparently going to attack us, ending his nap. We failed to get Vengeful Waters up, which was going to be our way of maybe living. When we get the Lhasa back in the ocean, we will probably have her cast Vengeful Waters again, because I have all these gems, but I have no Vengeful Waters, and I don't know what good any of them are if I don't have Vengeful... I mean, Vengeful Waters is the only spell I could think of that's going to win me the game, and this very cancerous astral corruption, ill winter, blood vortex, death, cancer state the game is in. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. I would say wish me luck, but I'm playing Lemuria, so if you're rooting for someone else, I totally get it. Thanks, guys.